if it is different.
Okay.
I think we're approaching it the same way. We're down, Rakia Jackson's not playing, Julie Alamon's not playing, so we're down a couple starters, key players, so that changes, just some strategic things, but how we've approached it has been the same. I want our guys to tonight's, I think our fans have been phenomenal this season, and they've showed up, and when we weren't doing great in the beginning, they still showed up. And, I want this city to be proud of the Sparks. And so I want our team to leave it all out there tonight. And, give these fans one last hurrah at Crypto. Obviously, we know Vegas is, I don't know how many they've won in a row, a lot. And Asia's playing on another level. So it's not like we're just going to be like, yay, let's have fun. Like, it's going to be a competitive game. But I do want us to play loose, play free, play with joy. But we're approaching it the same in terms of prep.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
John W. Davis with the Southern California News Group. Coach, when you have a game like this and it doesn't necessarily make a determination in the standings, but there's a standard that you're trying to build, and got a couple players you're not going to play, so you have 10 options. But what do you want to see from these players that you can literally take from this last game to the next time you play in May?
Well, I think, we want to play, and this is what I'm going to tell them before the game. We talked a little bit about shoot around, the expectations for how we compete, it shouldn't change no matter who's in uniform, who's not, whether we're out of the playoff hunt or not. We want to play the way we're supposed to play, meaning share the ball, play really hard, just play the right way and compete the right way. So, as I said, Vegas is on a roll and they're unbelievably good, but we still want to compete the right way, and we're not just rolling over and dying, that's for sure.
Out of curiosity, who's starting for Ricky and Julie tonight?
Well, no. We're going to go KP, S.A. Barker, and Ray Burrell, with Z and Dearica, obviously.
I know you're going to have more time after the game to kind of process the entire season as a whole, but how would you encapsulate this entire first season, not just for you and the WNBA, but for the team as a whole together? How would you kind of summarize everything?
I should have thought about this before I walked in the room. For me, I know you said not about me, but I think it answers the whole question too. Like, for me, this year was, my first year in the league, and it was new, and it was hard, and it was challenging, and it's relentless, and it just keeps coming. But it was super rewarding, and I love a good challenge, and I think, we started off tough. We had a lot of injuries and new coach and new players and all the things, and I'm incredibly proud of our team's resolve and their ability to stick together, stick with me, stick with this org. And so I think we've done, I'm competitive as hell, and so I'm disappointed that we didn't make the playoffs, but I don't feel like it was a failure. I think we're setting a good foundation for where we want to be, and what, we can look at our season at a couple games in May or June where it's like, oh my gosh, if we could have that back, and that's a lesson for next year. So even though it's like, oh, it's only May, it doesn't really matter. It does matter. Give us one or two more wins, and we're having a different press conference today. So, I think it was a good year. Definitely peaks and valleys, but I'm proud of these players.
Cameron?
Hi, Coach. Along those lines, and you kind of touched on it, you mentioned the fans. Can you talk a little bit about, I know like last year there were 8 wins, this year we're at 20 plus. Can you talk a little bit about your message to the fans and kind of like the growth of women's basketball in LA?
Yeah, and that's, I appreciate that question. One of the reasons that I wanted this job was because of LA and because of the market it is. And yes, it's competitive. There's so many things competing for fans' time, right? To buy a ticket to a Sparks game or to buy a ticket to anything else that goes on in this greater city, right? Like, but man, if you can build it, they'll come. And, LA loves winning, and so do I. And so the fans have been phenomenal. And like I mentioned, you know, when we were struggling, they still came out. And it's been fun to kind of, the vibe has been even more and more as the wins have added up. And I just want to continue to build on it. But I've appreciated the fans so much. I think they've been phenomenal. Our players feel it. And you talk about creating a culture of winning, the atmosphere you play in matters. And, you know, getting great players to come play with you, you know, what the game experience is, how the fans support it, how the fans come out, that matters. And I think we can continue to build on it, and that's the vision, and I'm gonna keep my foot full on the gas to get there.
Go hard.
Coach, who did you see grow personally the most as a player? Was it Ray Burrell? I know I've seen her grow a lot. You know, so
Yeah.
who would you pick that you seen grow the most?
That is a hard-hitting question right there.
Just pick on Ray Burrell.
Okay. I think I've seen everybody grow, and you can, you know, Kelsey Plum grow into being, you know, the third, fourth option to being the first option. That's a tough transition, and there's been some bumps and bruises along the way for her, but she's grown tremendously. You know, I could go through so you start with her, and then, you know, you could go through everybody. We don't have time, but Ray's been phenomenal, and I think she's figured out her value on this team and what she brings, and she's kind of, you know, which is, other than, you know, before tonight, coming off the bench and elevating the level of intensity and effort and the pace of the game. And I think she's figured out that, and she knows she has my trust to go be you. You know, who she is. She's just a great human, and she's goofy as heck. But I love that. I love that about her. And she brings life to any room she comes in, and I want to, you know, fan that fire rather than try to put it out. And I've seen a lot of growth from her, and she's improved throughout the season too. So she's been a joy to coach.
Thanks, Jack.
Hey Coach, the first time I interviewed you, you talked about how they were still trying to figure out the system. There were some kinks in that, but now we've grown and we've seen that everyone's firing on all cylinders. For you personally, how does it make you feel to see that they not only bought into you as a coach, but your system, and they've grown in that?
Yeah, it's rewarding. It's humbling, right? And I had confidence in it, and I believed in it, but that only goes so far as you can get people to follow you.
Right.
And but they have, and you know, it also helps when you have success doing it, right? When it started to click, it was like, oh, she's not as crazy as we thought. Yeah, it's rewarding. It's humbling, and but I'm not satisfied.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. Thanks, Coach.
Anyone else? Go ahead.
Was there a point in the season where, because you mentioned they fully bought in, was there a point in the season where maybe to you it actually clicked that they got it, they believe in me and what I am trying to do with them?
I don't know if there was an aha moment. I just did my best to stay super consistent, super steady, reiterating the same messaging, not varying from that, not getting emotional. So I think it was just kind of a slow drip, and then suddenly, you know, you have those watershed moments, but I don't know if there was a game or a moment that I can think of. It's all a blur at this point too, though. So maybe in a month I'll have a little more definitive answer on that.
Miho with the last question.
LA fan base grew so much this year, and then we see many fathers bring their sons to women's game.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I love it. I was telling KP this morning, so I have 2 9-year-old boys, and I went in, Henry, my son, I went into his bedroom last night to tuck him in, and Kelsey had given him a signed shoe, and it was front and center on his bookshelf. And I thought, like, that's so cool. Like, you know, they don't know, and like the things have shifted so much to where little boys wear Kelsey Plum jerseys or whatever, like Asia Wilson, whoever it is. It's a different generation, right? And that is so cool to see. When I was 9, there was women that played, but it was pre-internet. And it certainly wasn't on TV, right? So I had Michael Jordan. Like, you know, I had Charles Barkley on my wall. Like, now these boys and girls can have these badass women, and I think it's one of the coolest things about this movement.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, thank you. I'll see you after.